All right. Good afternoon. I'm Liz Staubach, Chair of the City of Albany IDA. I'll call the Thursday, August 21st meeting to order. Note that we do have a quorum with just Christopher Betts not in attendance. First item would be asked for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and accept as presented.
So moved.
Any comments, questions, revisions, edits?
Second.
Second. Any comments, questions, revisions, edits? All in favor? My favorite time, report of the chief financial officer.
Thank you, Chair. As this is an off-quarter presentation, we do have some summary commentary, but we do have additional detail on cash position, revenue and expenditures, if anyone has any questions. The agency's unrestricted cash position remains strong with a July ending balance of approximately 4.3 million, a projected year-end balance of approximately 4.3 million. Year-to-date revenues are projected to total approximately 1.43 million, driven primarily by agency fees, including a significant year closing contributed over $100,000. Expenditures of approximately 1 million have tracked consistently with expectations, with management contract and program support representing the majority of the current costs. While cash balances are stable and liquidity remains sound, it's important to note that revenues are highly concentrated in project-driven closings, which creates variability in monthly results. Looking ahead, the forecasted project pipeline is expected to generate an additional $344,000 in fees, supporting a solid year in cash position. Address any questions, comments, or concerns?
Any questions, Brady?
No.
Thank you. All right, moving on to unfinished business, we have South End Second Avenue LLC.
Yes, thank you. So this project was introduced in July and discussed at length at last week's Finance Committee meeting. The project consists of the redevelopment of vacant and tax exempt parcels in the South End neighborhood, which are currently owned by the Albany County Land Bank. It will consist of 62 new buildings with 166 units of affordable housing, along with commercial and community spaces. And the applicant is seeking a 30-year, 5% shelter rent pilot. The request at hand today is for the board to authorize the CEO to conduct a public hearing prior to next month's Finance Committee meeting. We do have representatives from the project with us right behind me. So if there's any questions from the board, they're available.
Are there any questions for the applicant? Okay, hearing none, may I get a motion on the resolution authorizing the Chief Executive Officer of City of Albany Industrial Development Agency to hold a public hearing regarding a proposed project to be undertaken for the benefit of South End Second Ave LLC? May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to Ontario West LLC.
Yes, that's me as well. So this project was introduced at last week's Finance Committee meeting. The project will consist of the demolition of an existing building at the corner of Ontario and West Streets, and the new construction of approximately 95,000 square foot building consisting of 76 units of affordable housing, a community hub space, as well as a commercial space intended for a daycare facility. This project is seeking 9% low-income housing tax credits from Homes and Community Renewal in the upcoming round. And the applicant intends to seek real property tax exemptions, mortgage reporting tax exemptions, and sales tax exemptions from the agency. The request at hand today is for the board to approve a preliminary inducement resolution. This is the first time this body has done that, so I'm going to turn it to Chris. To sort of go over.
Thanks, Lydia. So instead of just a normal public hearing resolution, this has a little more meat on the bone. We've been informed that this will help the project applicant have a better chance of getting the 9% tax credits as part of this process. If you look at section 1 of the resolution, I won't go through each of these, but there's certain findings that are made by the agency as part of the resolution. The project was a project, involving the removal of a planar facility of the company. It's a commercial activity within the meaning of the IDA Act. So these findings are made as part of this to kind of get a little more oomph in terms of moving the process along with the 9% tax credit. It also authorizes the IDA to enter into a preliminary agreement, which is attached to the resolution with the project applicant. So just to step back, this doesn't authorize the provision of the financial assistance This doesn't approve the project by the IDA, it just authorizes holding a public hearing, entering this preliminary agreement, making this really early stage findings that will help the project applicant hopefully get the 9% tax credit. Happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Okay, then may I get a motion on the resolution taking preliminary official action towards the acquisition, construction, installation, and leasing of a certain commercial project for Ontario West LLC and authorizing the execution and delivery of a preliminary agreement with the company with respects to such transaction.
Move.
May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public hearing, we know you're gonna set that, or just like. Okay.
I think that would be at the normal timeline of after.
Yeah. It's right before the finance committee meeting called, in the second Wednesday of September, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
On to new business, Holland Avenue.
Yes.
Know if it's Holland or Ortiz.
Yeah, so Holland Ave OC, this project closed with the agency in 2021. It received sales tax, mortgage reporting tax, and real property tax exemptions. The project consisted of the new construction of 60 units of market rate housing, and it was completed last year. Earlier this month, the agency received a request from the project beneficiary, which is included in your packet. For that request, the company is seeking approval from this body to sell the project facility to TJF Holding Corporation. We do have an org chart for that. I think Maria is gonna pass that around for us. Under that sale, Holland Ave OC would assign its interest in the property under the basic documents to that corporation, which would then assume all of the obligations under the basic documents. The property would continue to be managed and operated by Richville Capital. And we do have representatives from Richville with us today, Phil Havlock and Michelle Kennedy, who can answer any questions on that.
Hi, thanks for the time today. Just important to note, the new entity is a family of one of the existing partners. So we're transferring ownership to the family of Philly Milner, with our partners together for 25 years. But because it's staying in the family, as we like to say, we're going to continue to operate and manage the property on behalf of the family.
You'll still be coming to see us.
Darius, never going. That's the only reason I'm staying involved.
Do we have any other questions? All right, then may I have a motion on the resolution authorizing City of Albany Industrial Development Agency to execute a memorandum of understanding or certain similar, oh wait, sorry, no, wrong one. My bad. Try it again. May I get a motion on the resolution consenting to and authorizing the execution and delivery of certain documents with respect to the assignment and assumption of the Holland Ave OZ LLC project? Perfect.
Fine, I'll move it.
Okay, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for your time today, appreciate it.
Thank you. Next item is Western Avenue Associates LLC. May I get a motion to go into executive session? To discuss advice of counsel and pending litigation.
Possible.
Possible litigation.
Second.
Yeah, just for a minute. All in favor?
Aye.
Did we get a second?
Yes, second.
Yes, I thought you guys moved on without me, so. Okay, thanks. We are out of executive session with no action being taken. The next item for us to continue to discuss, because that's it, is 1211 Western Avenue Associates and the resolution authorizing the MOU regarding events of default. You wanna, we'll just turn it over to Rob?
I think, Rob, we would kick it to you to, discuss, the amendment that, you'd like in the resolution, in terms of dates and anything else that you'd like to share.
Sure. I understand my client is still on a train, but they got on at 7 o'clock this morning. We were just sitting on the tracks, so certainly his apologies. From my understanding, the conditions that were discussed in the last meeting were met. The meeting, the submission of the financial information that was sought. And in the meeting, that I think was on Tuesday, there was, I think my client felt good that there was a direction on the coordination of departments, on what was necessary, on the approvals, and on the permits. When they talked to their architects and architects plural, there's a dispute with the first one, there's a transition to the second one. Because of that overlay, they believe that they would be in a position to submit by November 21st. That's the date that they got. So that is the requested amendment. Everything else was fine and also very appreciated.
Yeah. Third person, wanna run through?
Yeah,
the
so
resolution numbers?
the resolution authorizes the ID to enter into a memorandum of understanding. That document is still in draft form being worked on. The gist of the MOU, the big highlights would be that, the management company, DMG, would need to provide the ID with monthly updates on the progress on the completion of the project. At the expense of the company, the ID would hire a construction monitor the progress. The company would be required to submit a building permit application by the resolution currently says October 20th, but that will now say November 21st for Rob's discussion. And also they will commence construction within 60 days of the issuance of the building permit by the city. Currently says 30 in the resolution, but that would now be 60 days. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Also, we're gonna add,
So once, Rob, we'll finish up a draft. Sure. Okay, we'll provide that to you. One of the requirements is that MOU would need to be executed by your client within 7 days of today's date.
7 days.
Yeah, okay, so we're hoping to get that out to you by Monday at the latest.
You should have them off the train by then.
yeah, unfortunately, I think we've all been there, so.
Yeah.
Are there any additional questions or comments for Rob?
Time commenced construction, was that?
Yep, it was discussed. We're going to extend 30 days is currently in the resolution. We'll extend that out to 60 days.
And that's from the issuance of the permits.
Yes.
Yes.
And yeah, I think just to have on the record, our understanding is that commencement of construction would be in January. So we're trying to provide the room for that to be able to happen in a timely manner.
All right, I'll confirm that.
Okay, there is,
Motion.
no, I gotta read it.
Sorry.
Sorry. No questions or comments. May I get a motion on the resolution authorizing City of Albany Industrial Development Agency to execute a memorandum of understanding or certain similar agreements in connection with the 1211 Western Avenue Property Associates LLC project?
Okay, I'll make a motion.
May I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to agency update.
I neglected to share an update that was previously shared with the finance committee. Staff is in the midst of budget planning. We've created largely what constitutes the draft budget We expect to be able to share that after some consultative discussions internally and with the finance committee members at next month's meeting.
Thank you. Anything else? Compliance update.
No compliance.
Okay. So don't say no compliance. May I get a motion to adjourn?
So moves.
Second, all in favor?
All right.